Good morning, America. Breaking news. A powerful storm lashing the Northeast with hurricane-force wind gusts and torrential rains triggering flash flooding, stranding drivers in high water, knocking out power for 900,000. Now the warning for your morning commute and the system's track right now.
Special Counsel Robert Mueller poised to bring the first criminal charges in the Russia investigation. Arrests could come as early as this morning. President Trump calls it a witch hunt again. Who will be caught in the crosshairs?
Breaking overnight, stunning allegations against Kevin Spacey. An accuser coming forward, saying the actor made a sexual advance on him when he was 14 years old. Spacey now apologizing. And as more allegations come out against Harvey Weinstein, one of his first defenders, fashion designer Donna Karan, is also apologizing, breaking her silence after her comments caused widespread outrage. You'll see it only on GMA.
And the Astros blast the Dodgers in a record-breaking battle overnight. Hit after hit. The monster homer appearing to explode in midair. Now Houston just one win away from their first World Series title ever. Can the Dodgers make a comeback?
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And we do say good morning, America. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Another great game in the series.
Unbelievable. 25 runs last night, 7 home runs, 5 hours and 17 minutes. It aged Astros star Justin Verlander. Look at the tweet he sent out before and after. What a crazy game. Took 40-ish years off my life.
As you said, they're one win away from the first title.
One win away. All eyes this morning also on Washington. Special Counsel Robert Mueller expected to bring down his first indictments this morning.
And we're going to have more, much more on that ahead. But first, we want to get to that dangerous storm lashing the East Coast this morning, bringing hurricane-force wind gusts, knocking out power across 7 states. Rob is in Long Beach, New York, where they're seeing flooding. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Robin. It's been a rough night here in Long Beach. The winds have shifted, but they're still blowing. The rain is still coming down, although letting up a little bit, and those waves are still pounding this beach. Look at the coastal flooding that we're seeing here. This stop sign, the water almost all the way up to the top. Of course, we had that tropical connection in Philippe, adding heavy rains and hurricane-force winds to what's really become a ferocious fall storm. Torrential rain, flash flooding, and hurricane-force winds pummeling the East Coast overnight. Wind speeds reaching up to 82 miles per hour in Rhode Island. The gale so strong, these ceiling tiles in a hotel almost giving way. And in New Jersey, heavy rain giving way to flash flooding and high water rescues. This mother and son rescued by boat.
Because it was in the front, it started rising, and then I got in the back, and then it started just flow out of the car.
And another driver narrowly escaping rapidly rising waters after his car was submerged, climbing out his driver's side window.
I couldn't even open it from inside. I just put the window down and then got out.
And in Florida, time to clean up after 4 tornadoes touched down Sunday with Tropical Storm Philippe. Watch one of those twisters forming over West Palm Beach. And this storm hitting on the 5th anniversary of Sandy, which did major damage to the boardwalk I'm standing on. It's been rebuilt and reinforced with concrete. And though this storm pales in comparison, it does have wide-reaching impacts, especially in eastern New England. And that's where you find ABC's Adrian Bankert, who's live for us in Boston. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning to you too, Rob. Yes, of course, we've been seeing some wind gusts this morning, but not like last night. We've been checking the boards here at Boston Logan Airport, and across the Northeast, we've seen more than 200 cancellations, more than 100 delays, travelers rushing, calling in, trying to get their flights changed. Many airlines still issuing travel advisories through today. Wind has been the major concern. In Massachusetts, we've seen gusts as strong as 80 miles per hour. It was enough to blow you sideways, and of course, enough to down trees and power lines. Currently, at last check, more than 1 million people across 7 states without electricity. George, over to you.
Hey, Adrian, thanks very much. Let's get more on where this is all headed next from our chief meteorologist, Ginger Z. Ginger.
And George, Long Island Railroad, Metro North, Amtrak still this morning have delays because of video like this. Power lines you can see on the tracks, trees down, and those sparks flying, flames beginning there. And what I wanted to show you now is the storm is not over. We actually are seeing some really heavy rains up through parts of New Hampshire, some flash flood warnings. But look at this line that's about to come into New York City. Believe me, in about 20 to 30 minutes, you look out that window, it's going to look a lot different. It's going to look pretty torrential with some strong winds. So it is far from over. We've got about 6 to 8 hours left with this thing. The flood warnings that stretch back through western New York. But even bigger deal, as Adrian emphasized, is the wind. We could still see gusts of 30 to even 40 miles per hour as we go through the late morning and early afternoon. Robin?
We know you're keeping an eye on it. All right, Ginger. But now to Washington and that major development in the Russia investigation. The first arrest could be made this morning as special counsel Robert Mueller seeks charges against at least one unidentified person. Our senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas has the latest. Good morning, Pierre.
Robin, that's right. Good morning. We're expecting to see as early as today the first criminal charges filed in the special counsel's Russia investigations. Indictments could be made public by this afternoon, with someone being arrested and charged. We're still waiting on the identity of the suspect or suspects and potential charges, but it's a dramatic moment, and all of official Washington is holding its breath. With these potential charges, everyone involved will be put on notice that Robert Mueller's team is serious and that this is no small matter. And everyone will, of course, be looking to see if the potential charges connect to anyone in the president's circle, Robin.
So we may not know who will be indicted, but what has been the main focus of the investigation so far?
What we know is that for the last 5 months, Mueller has been investigating whether the Trump campaign or any of its associates colluded with the Russians in the 2016 presidential election. He's also been investigating the finances of some key Trump associates, specifically former campaign manager and chairman Paul Manafort and former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. He's also been looking at possible obstruction of justice regarding the firing of former FBI Director James Comey. The president's attorneys say they have been cooperating with the special counsel, and the president has nothing to hide. This is a big moment for Mueller, a former FBI director who was confirmed unanimously twice by the Senate. Everyone will be dissecting the who and the why of this indictment and whether it's significant, Robin.
We will. All right. Thank you.
Let's get more from our chief White House correspondent, John Carl, right now. And John, we just heard Pierre say the president's lawyers are saying he has absolutely nothing at all to hide. But all week long, especially yesterday, the president doing his best to change the subject.
He was on fire on Twitter over the weekend, George, yesterday, demanding to know why investigators aren't looking into the various things they could be looking at regarding Hillary Clinton. Look at these two tweets. First, the uranium to Russia deal, the 33,000 plus deleted emails, the Comey fix, and so much more. Instead, they look at phony Trump-Russia collusion, which doesn't exist. The Dems are using this terrible and bad for our country witch hunt for evil politics. Now, George, after this series of tweets went out, and there were more of them, the president's attorney, Ty Cobb, special counsel here at the White House, said this, quote, contrary to what many have suggested, the president's comments today are unrelated to the activities of the special counsel to whom he continues to cooperate. Now, George,
well, what does that mean?
I don't know exactly what it would have been about if it weren't the special counsel.
Yeah, that's a little strange. You know, and we've seen the president's lawyer out there right now, but the staffers inside the White House kind of blindsided by this news late Friday. They're as much as in the dark as anybody else.
This news broke first on CNN late Friday. Nobody at the White House had any idea anything was coming down, had gotten any notification. In fact, for the weekend, I kept touching base. No notification that I know of, even to this moment, as to what exactly is going to go down with the special counsel.
Everyone is waiting. John Carl, thanks very much. Let's bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, also Meghan McCain, co-host of The View. And Dan, so much unknown right now, but when we find out who this person or persons is, it will reveal a lot about special counsel strategy.
Yeah, look, we expected this to be rolling from day one, meaning no one expected that suddenly you were going to get a whole list of people indicted in one day. It was going to be, it was expected to be. It's the way it happens with independent counsels. It starts with one or two people, they move on, they continue going as such. But the big question is going to be, do they use the typical federal prosecutor strategy, which is you start with the small fish, you go to the big fish. Now, typically, you'd try to put pressure on someone before you indict them to get them to turn and help you in the investigation. But if they don't help, then what you often do is you will indict them in the hope that that will send the message you either cooperate or you're going to be in big trouble.
The reason they might not follow the normal strategy is that this is all complicated by the fact that the president has pardon power.
Which I think is an enormous... Look, when you read the president's tweets, right, and he's talking about this being a witch hunt, et cetera, it sure sounds like he's saying, if someone is indicted here, it's going to be unfair. It's going to be something that needs to be fixed. And the president can fix it. The way he can fix it according to him, is with a pardon. And so many of these people may be saying, I'm not willing to cooperate the way that someone ordinarily would because I have a feeling, or I know, that I'll get pardoned by the president. There are all sorts of questions about federal and state law with regard to that, but I think that's got to be something anyone is thinking about in the context of this.
But still, with all that, Megan, you know, as we've been saying about the president tweeting over the weekend, firestorm, as John said, and witch hunt and all that, the administration has to be concerned.
They have to be concerned, and again, it's going to push them off narrative right now. We're trying to talk about tax reform and tax cuts. He has a big trip to China coming up, but I think it's important when we talk about this. The core Trump base of supporters thinks that this is a deep state conspiracy that started with James Comey. I have friends that are Trump supporters, talking to them all weekend. They think this is pretty much a nothing burger. And when it came out with Hillary Clinton coming out that she had ties to Fusion GPS and also had some connections and payments to this Russian dossier, I'm telling you, whatever Mueller finally comes out and shows us, it better be pretty good, because his 38% of hardcore supporters, right now, they're taking his side.
Well, right now they are, and the president is clearly feeding that with his tweets, but the new polls out today do show that he's at his lowest
all-time low.
All-time lows.
It is. I mean, listen, I'm not telling you that things are all, you know, wonderful in Pleasantville right now, but I am saying that his core base of supporters, there's been this, you know, internet conspiracy that this is the deep state trying to take him down, but he should be very concerned, especially after everything happening last week with attacking the Gold Star mother, David Johnson's wife. That was a very bad narrative going forward, and I don't know, it just seems like this administration can't get out from under itself, and no matter what happens, just can't get that legislative win that so many of us want, and we're heading into midterms. Midterms are coming.
Yeah, right around the corner. Well, we'll continue to talk about this, and I'm sure you're going to have a lively discussion on The View this morning.
Yes, thank you.
Megan, Dan, thanks so much. Now, those accusations against one of the most powerful actors in Hollywood, Kevin Spacey. Overnight, the two-time Academy Award winner releasing a statement acknowledging allegations that he made a sexual advance on a minor decades ago and apologizing. Amy Rubach is here with the latest details. Good morning, Amy.
Hey, good morning to you, Robin. And this is all in the middle of the unfolding Harvey Weinstein scandal. Yet another actor coming forward, this time pointing the finger at Kevin Spacey about an encounter he says happened more than 3 decades ago. Spacey apologizing overnight, but also choosing this moment to publicly come out as gay.
Overnight, Rent and Star Trek Discovery star Anthony Rapp telling BuzzFeed House of Cards star Kevin Spacey made a sexual advance towards him when he was just 14 years old. Rapp saying that in 1986, while both he and Spacey were working on Broadway, Spacey, who was then 26 years old, invited Rapp to a party at his apartment, and that at the end of the night, after everyone else had left, tried to seduce him in his bedroom, pressing into him. But Rapp says after a short period, he was able to squirm away.
We're survivors.
Spacey responding to Rapp's allegations on Twitter, writing, he is a fan of Rapp's work and that I honestly do not remember the encounter. I owe him the sincerest apology for what would have been deeply inappropriate drunken behavior. He also acknowledged publicly for the first time that he is gay, writing, as those closest to me know, in my life I have had relationships with both men and women. I have loved and had romantic encounters with men throughout my life, and I choose now to live as a gay man. I want to deal with this honestly and openly, and that starts with examining my own behavior. Many on social media questioning whether this was the most appropriate time for Spacey to acknowledge his sexuality. Twitter user Trayvon Free wrote, being gay is not an excuse for trying to molest children. And actress Wanda Sykes tweeting, no, 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 no. You do not get to choose to hide under the rainbow.
And yes, a lot of people criticizing Spacey for choosing this moment to publicly come out. In his statement, Spacey also says, this story has encouraged me to address other things about my life, adding, I know that there are stories out there about me and that some have been fueled by the fact that I have been so protective of my privacy. So the timing of this, though, is raising a lot of eyebrows.
Yeah, the timing of it is because it's been, you know, thought for many, and he's joked about it. Remember when he was at the Tonys and he was joking about it, and to choose this time, and so a lot of the headlines are about him coming out and not about the accusations against a minor.
Exactly, and so that's where he's going to continue to draw a lot of criticism.
This is cascading in so many different directions right now.
It really is, and as more fallout comes from this, we're going to hear exclusively from fashion designer Donna Karan. Remember, she had some really stark comments right after. Very surprising, and so I sat down with her over the weekend.
That is coming up in just a little bit, but right now we're going to turn to that mysterious death of a Green Beret back in June. 2 Navy SEALs are now under investigation as authorities try to determine if they killed their fellow service member in the African nation of Mali. ABC's Stephanie Ramos is at the Pentagon with the latest. Good morning, Stephanie.
George, good morning. It's been 4 months since U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Logan Melgar was found dead in his room while deployed to the West African country of Mali. Melgar was a special operations engineer sergeant conducting training and counterterrorism missions. He was part of a small group of U.S. military personnel working in Bamako, Mali's capital, in support of the U.S. Embassy. Now, a U.S. official says Melgar's death is being investigated as a homicide, with 2 U.S. Navy SEALs at the center of the probe. The Navy SEALs are part of the elite SEAL Team 6. These teams are the Navy's primary special operations force. They take on dangerous missions by sea, air, and land, and they go through intense, rigorous training. And you know what? This is also the same unit that killed Osama bin Laden in Pakistan back in 2011. Now, initially, the Army launched an investigation in June when Melgar was found dead in U.S. Embassy housing, but the Navy's Criminal Investigative Service took over the review a month ago. Now, the 2 Navy SEALs have not been charged just yet. Back over to you, George.
Well, a lot of answers yet to come on that one, Stephanie. Thanks very much.
And now to that battle on the baseball field. The Astros celebrating a major victory, taking Game 5 of the series. They are now just 1 win away from their first ever title. TJ Holmes is here, has the latest. Good morning, TJ.
Hey, good morning again. Robert, this was another epic slugfest between these 2 teams last night, but so much of the storyline of this World Series has been about all the home runs, a record number of home runs being hit. Well, a theory is emerging about that and has everything to do with the baseballs being used in this World Series, putting the pitchers at a disadvantage.
10th inning. That's in the air to left. 22 and counting. Another 3. Pitcher record for the balls are flying out of the park at a historic rate. The Astros and Dodgers added another 7 homers last night, including this shot from the Astros' George Springer that appeared to explode upon landing. The fans in the stands and at home love the long ball. Hitters love it too.
The bats were hot today.
But for the pitchers serving up all those homers, it's a different story.
I think the main complaint is that the balls seem a little bit different in the postseason, and even from the postseason to the World Series balls, they're a little slick.
So why so many homers? One theory, slick baseballs. Players and coaches on both teams tell Sports Illustrated the baseballs are slicker than the ones used in the regular season. That makes it more difficult for some pitchers to command their signature pitch. But Major League Baseball says that the balls are made to the same standards as the regular season baseballs. The only difference is the gold stamping on the baseballs.
No, everybody's talking. If it's slicker, it makes it more difficult for some of them to throw their slider, their signature pitch. You can't control it. It's not going to dip as much as you want to. Those hitters are good. They can spot it. You off just a fraction, that thing is leaving the park.
Is that the ball you stole from the World Series last year?
No, I keep that in a special safe at home.
Okay.
Thank you, TJ.
You got it.
Let's go back to Ginger.
Oh, now we've got that cold behind the storm. Look at this. It's already settling in eastern Tennessee and the Smokies. They had snow. This is Slidell, Louisiana. That is frost on a windshield. We haven't even seen frost in some of the areas in the Northeast. And look how far south the frost advisories into the Panhandle this morning. Select Cities now brought to you by Walgreens.
Getting your flu shot at Walgreens is easier than ever. Just walk right in and pay $0 with most insurance. Plus, when you get a flu shot at Walgreens, you help provide a life-saving vaccine to a child in need through the UN Foundation. It's that easy to get your flu shot and make a difference. So swing by your local Walgreens today. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
Gusty and cold today, our coldest day since mid-May. Temperatures today are going to stay in the 50s during the afternoon hours, and you can see your start 30s to around 40 degrees with a wind advisory that stays up until 10 a.m. Winds will diminish gradually throughout the day today, coming down to about 20 miles per hour during the afternoon and evening rush. Not quite as nippy tomorrow, the high 60 degrees. We're in the lower 50s for trick-or-treaters. Next chance of rain, a few showers midweek.
Coming up as allegations grow against Harvey Weinstein, our exclusive with fashion designer Donna Karan, who initially came to his defense, sparking outrage with her comments about his accusers. What Donna Karan is saying now, and you'll see it only here on Good Morning America. Come on back.
Harry's meeting clients from far away, but they only see his wrinkles. He's gotta play it cool to see